Welcome back to Procrastination Garage. My name is Matt. Well, the goal is to work on this F-250 behind me. The question is, are the parts that I have on order going to come in or not? We'll see, but undoubtedly we'll do something this week. Maybe, or we'll procrastinate. We'll see. I've got to say, when I started this project a couple days ago, I didn't figure it was going to be going like this. I did not see myself pulling this manifold back out again. Anyway, as we encountered in the last video, I broke off one of the mounting studs when I was putting it back on. I'm not taking any blame for it. I don't think it's anything I did wrong. I think it just wore, and I think it was an original one, and I think on my way to 20 foot-pounds of torque, I think it just snapped. Anyway, regardless, I need to get the manifold back off, survey the damage. I've got a kit coming in that is going to help me drill out the hole to get the remaining part of the stud out. So we need to get it ready to do that. And I don't know if that'll be in this video or not, but we at least need to get it tore apart. So let's get that manifold back out. I've got the manifold back out. That wasn't too bad. Although it's kind of messy on my fingers because of all the anti-seize I use. And there's all my nuts ready to go back together. So an interesting thing, I mentioned in the last video that, which one is it? That one right there. That cylinder looked like it had some oil leaking out of it. That's not oil, that's antifreeze. And what caught my eye was when I was taking the manifold off, I saw there was a bunch of antifreeze down on this exhaust piece here. And when I looked a little closer, it was coming out the end of the exhaust manifold. I'm like, that's not good. Well, here's the deal. You can see where they re-welded this, where the stud was there. They re-welded it because they had totally screwed it up. And they'd gotten into the water jacket, and supposedly they'd welded up and fixed it. Well, really what they did was they mostly fixed it. My guess is it's been leaking a little bit of antifreeze forever. It's just been going down into the exhaust, and I've not been noticing it. I'm not even sure I've noticed that the coolant level has dropped on this thing, but I may have, but I probably just attribute it to just, over time. Sometimes you lose a little bit here and there. So this isn't going to change anything. I'm still going to try and fix it, and I may put a little bit of stop leak in it or something. Without taking the head off, there's really no way of fixing it. You would need to go in from the inside and weld it up, and that's asking a lot when you're trying to do it when it's sitting here in the frame. And I'm not tearing it apart until something worse than this breaks on it. So here is the one that broke, and it broke up in there, but that should make it pretty easy. The kit I bought is going to have an alignment jig. Pardon my shaking here. It's going to have an alignment jig that allows me to bore right in the center of that. And so hopefully I'll be able to bore into it and back it out. And then I also ordered some set of stainless steel replacement studs to go in there. Anyway, I'll be coming later this week. And because of where it's at, it's not even going to be that hard to get a drill on, although I don't know that I can drill straight in. And I may end up getting a smaller air drill or something so I can get a better angle on it. We'll see, but let me collect all the parts first. But anyway, we've got the, got the manifold out, and now we're just waiting on parts. So let's move on to doing something else. Just got me thinking, should look at the coolant overflow tank here and see. You can see it's down. There's the max line. That's the min line right there. So we're about 1/2 to 3/4, maybe an inch below it. This thing has never run hot, and it's got plenty of capacity, so I probably just haven't noticed it. And again, I don't know the last time I topped it off, but it's not a deal breaker, but it is a bit of an annoyance. In case you were looking for an update about the fuel cap issue from a previous video, it's still not venting, and I believe it's supposed to be, so I went ahead and ordered another one. Anyway, it just came in today. There it is. I'm going to swap that out, and I'm going to use the weed whacker right now, so we'll see if it fixes things. That mess right there needs to be weed whacked down to nothing. And you're asking, why is this on Procrastination Garage? Well, yard work is a fact of life. But underneath all this green here is a trunk of what's left of a tree, and I need to cut all this green stuff away, and that tree needs to, trunk needs to come down, because it's not doing good things to my sequoia tree here. So let's get started. I put the weed whacker to work and knocked all that down. Loaded up in the little trailer. See, it's not all work. Get to play with one of the toys. That's my second load there, getting ready to take it down my burn pile. Now I need to get the branches cut on the tree trunk there. So regarding the weed whacker, I don't know. I was still having problems with it even with the new gas cap. So I'm not sure. I told you there was a tree trunk in there. Made great progress. Made a big mess. Gonna need a bigger trailer to haul all this stuff away. Time to take a lunch break first though. Bigger trailer, but still gonna take 2 trips. But we're getting it. There, that's better. Cleaned up, last load on the trailer, take it down to the burn pile. This big pile of wood here is the reason I got the log splitter. This is some big stuff, and I've got a lot more of it over our rental house that needs to be split as well. This is as far as we're going today. The main reason is I need to get my tractor in here to pick those pieces of wood up, and because I was watering all this earlier today, it's a little soft, and I don't want to trench up my yard with the tractor. So all I need to do is get rid of that last part of the stump there. About one more cut across. That saw is a Husky 460 Rancher. Nice saw. It goes through this stuff like butter, and it's probably fairly soft. It was sopping wet. In fact, as I was going through with the saw, water was just running out. At first I thought something was leaking out of the saw until I figured out what it was. So we'll catch back up either tomorrow or who knows. It's Procrastination Garage. We may not get to it for a month. It's Thursday, and instead of being at home working on the tree, Dog and I decided to come up in the mountain, spend the day hiking around. We just brought the Suzuki SX4, but look at this. This is the trash I picked up in this one little campsite area right here, dispersed camping site. Pretty much everything around this campfire right here. But the sad thing is I was here less than a month ago and cleaned this exact spot up. And somebody's already trashed it. I just can't freaking believe people. What a bunch of pigs. Anyway, we're not gonna let that ruin our day. Can you smell the bacon cooking? Smells good. So I decided that this would be kind of a day camp today, since I don't really have time to spend any time up here camping. I figured I'd make myself some breakfast for lunch. It's not a gorgeous day. It's been sprinkling a little bit. Temperature's kind of cooled down. But that's all right. It's a good time, just me and the dog. Breakfast, lunch, whatever is ready. I should have brought more food. What I didn't count on was the amount of yellow jackets that were going to join me for lunch. See what I did? I pulled the drawer out of my camper, my old beat up camper, because it's got all the silverware, utensils, everything, measuring cups, everything I needed to cook with. The only thing I didn't have in there was a plate and a frying pan, which I grabbed separate. Pretty smart, huh? It's about 4 o'clock. Dog says it's time to head home. I think the dog's probably right. We've been hiking all afternoon. You can see I cleaned the area up. It was just as clean as when I got here. This site was actually in really good shape when I got here, and I'm leaving it the same. All right, time to get back home. What are you up to, Bear? You gonna help Dad use the tractor? You gonna help Dad use the tractor? What, Bear? Yeah? What are you trying to say? Oh, he's trying to say it's time to get back to work on the tree trunk in the front yard. Of course, the problem is the key's not with the tractor. It's locked away in the house. And I wasn't smart enough to bring it down. So let's go get it. At least I get some exercise. Let's try again now that we got the key. just need to pick the pieces up and toss them in the bucket. This will be a lot easier. Oh, I got parts in the bucket already. Oh well. It's obvious I didn't think this through. I want to bring the wood down here by this wood pile where I'm going to do some splitting. And of course the truck is parked in the way. Now I can go all the way around, but that makes absolutely no sense. So move the truck. All right, let's try this now. Got some logs in the bucket, truck's out of the way, let's go. We got all the wood pieces out of the way. Need to do some raking around there, figure out how low I can go with the chainsaw without getting down in the dirt. So the next step is kind of raking the area up. There it is, cut down as far as it's going. Now I need a stump grinder, which I'd like to get one, maybe in time. Anyway, the piece that I cut, I had to split in two. It's so heavy. All done. Looks a lot better. I'm not sure how well the tree's going to recover. This area here needs to grow out some branches. It was being encroached on for a lot of years, but we'll see. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's go for a little bit of a ride. I needed to make a trip into town. Had to make a trip to Harbor Freight. I need a different drill. And this is what we came for. Looking for a more compact drill so I can drill out the stud on the F-250. This is not as compact as I was hoping, but given the angle of it and where this stud is, I think this will work. Here's the kit I bought to help get the broken off stud out of the cylinder head. It's either going to help or it's going to make things even worse. And there's what's inside. Instructions, that's probably good. This piece here that fits over it bolts onto the cylinder head in different configurations to help line it up to drill. And then in here are some drill bits and a extraction bit. So it's a pretty complete kit, so we'll see if that helps us or if we just end up breaking off a drill bit and making things worse. And then here's some stainless steel stud bolts that I bought. I just need one of them to replace that one. Step number one is taking one of the drill bits, and they give you two 1/8 drill bits, and they're double-ended. Anyway, you're supposed to set the depth to how far it is, and the way you do that is if you look, there's a little gauge there on the bottom. So you do that, and then you can bolt this piece into place. And this one aligns with 3 studs. And it's not a perfect fit. I had to look up through the hole to figure out exactly where center was. And then you're lining up this hole here. And then there's 2 alignment dowels, depending upon how deep you can go. In this case, I need to use that one and stick it up in there to help, stick it in there as far as you can to align it. You can see. And anyway, so everything's lined up. So now, next step, where is it? Is this piece here has to be screwed up to it. We can figure this out. I'm not sure if I can do it with my hands in place here. I'll just go ahead and do it and come back. I apologize for the piss poor camera work. All right, there, that other aluminum piece is installed. And there's two different ones. There's one for a 2-valve head and one for a 3-valve head. This is a 2-valve head. So it aligns up, and then you've got that little knurled knob to tighten it down. And then the black part, that's where you stick your drill bit through, and that lines you up and lets you drill as deep into the stud as you can without getting in the water jacket. So wish me luck. I'll be a son of a... Look at that. That little sucker came out. Damn. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you look at my extractor, you can see that I'm a little bit below the bottom of that bolt. Now, the drill didn't really go beyond the bolt, but it did drill all the way through and made a hole in the bottom of that bolt. And the extractor, I had to tap it in there to get it tight enough to work. So the question is, there's got to be a little room between the water jacket and the end of that bolt. So I don't know. We'll see. Worst case is I know they make sealant that I can put around the stud if it does leak, but we're going to go with the assumption that everything's good. And we're going to put the new stud in there, and we're going to use anti-seize on it. And like I said, if it leaks, then I'll pull it out and we'll put it in with some sealant. In theory, I should be able to get it out without having to remove the manifold again. So that'll be a plus. There's the new stud installed. I tightened it out with an Allen. Didn't over tighten it, didn't under tighten it. I figure if I have to take it apart, I don't care if it comes unthreaded from the block. Again, let's hope we don't have a leak from the water jacket here. So now it's time to put the manifold back on there with the gasket and get some more anti-seize on the nuts and put the thing back together. Everything's back together, minus the one stud that's broke that we can't do anything about. And we got the exhaust manifold hooked back up to the exhaust system and put anti-seize there too. So this thing is ready to fire. But you know what? You guys are going to have to wait for the next video for that, because I'm pretty much out of time. It's Saturday night after 5 o'clock, and I've got things I've got to do. And if I fire the thing up and it starts spewing water from somewhere, I'm going to have a meltdown, and I don't want to do that tonight, so you guys can watch that on the next video. I guess that'll be it. So anyway, I suspect it'll fire up, and we won't have any major problems, or certainly nothing we can't fix. So when we get back to this, we'll get it fired up, and if everything's good, we'll put the tools away and put the wheel back on and get the thing out of the shop. So I think that's going to be it. So while I should be at home finishing up Procrastination Garage on this beautiful Sunday, instead my daughter and the dog, Skeeter, were up in the mountains enjoying the day. We're up at the Little Bald Warming Hut, checking it out after they did some work on it and did some painting on it. It looks gorgeous. And just a beautiful day. Yeah, I could be at home working on that F-250, hoping it starts. There's Mount Rainier off in the distance. I'm not sure how well it shows on video. It's a pretty hazy day up here. But I mean, seriously, would you rather be up here or would you rather be down in my shop? I'd rather be up here. What about you, Skeeter? This area here was burned in a fire a little over a year ago. Well, Mother Nature can be mean. We made it back to the truck. Time to load up and go home and prep a video to get uploaded. Yay, Procrastination Garage. My daughter and I, we just got back from the mountains and we had a great day today. The weather was gorgeous, temperatures were nice and warm, and other than a bit of dust, it was a great time. This is going to wrap up this week's episode of Procrastination Garage. And so what did we get accomplished? Well, I took down the tree in the front yard that had been encroaching on the sequoia, or what was left of that tree, and worked on the green F-250. We got the broken exhaust manifold stud out and replaced, and everything put back together, and she's ready to fire up. So just wait till the next episode to see how that goes. Remember, the goal of Procrastination Garage is to get me out of the house, get me out in the yard, out in the shop, doing something. So I'm not sitting in front of the TV watching YouTube or on my phone doing TikTok. I hope you like the content, and with that, I hope you will like, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you'll tell your friends. Until next week, my name is Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage.